What is up, my fellow Chibits? Today, I'm here to bring all of you the weekly manga chapter review of The Promised Neverland, chapter 15. Okay, can we all just say right now that what Emma did in this chapter was borderline creepy? Like, I don't know how many realized what Emma was doing to Rei in this chapter, but if you pay attention very closely, you'll see what was really going on. And Rei noticed it, and he quickly tried to disengage. But what Emma did in this chapter was very eerie, and it reminded me a lot of what Isabel has tried to do throughout this series. Okay, so when Emma gets that creepy face, and she's like, "Have you sacrificed anyone? Don't ever do it again. I'm fine if you've done it before, but don't ever do it again." You see how she grabs Rei's arm, and when she has her hand around his wrist to where it's like she's checking for his pulse. And so in that scene, you see Rei look down, he looks at his hand, it's like a quick little panel, and then all of a sudden you see it to where he actually replies to Emma after she lets go of his wrist, and then he replies with his lie of how he wants to save everyone. And so in that moment, we saw a sign that Emma is way more than she appears. Now, one of the big things that was focused on earlier on in the chapters about her character was that she's very naive. She wants to save everyone, and it makes sense. I mean, she's grown up with all these kids, she cares about them, they're like her family. And so her wanting to save everyone, it does make logical sense, even though she is naive, and what, Norman and Rei have been doing is the logical outcome. They're being really realistic about what's really going on here. But the way Emma presented herself in this chapter shows something, another layer to her character that we did not probably expect to see, at least for now. So, let me explain what makes her very different from what we can already see. We assume that she was very naive, someone that, cared for everyone, wanted everyone to stay alive, someone to, not be sacrificed. She didn't want to leave anyone behind. But what she said in this chapter was something that would normally never be said by her type of character, and that was when she said to Rei, "So you said you were experimenting with the transmitters. You managed to figure out a way to break them. By any chance, did you do this beforehand in these past 6 years to learn how to do this? And in a way, when you broke these transmitters, did you bump up the shipping date of said kids because you were experimenting? Did you actually do that? Did you sacrifice a couple of kids to be able to allow us to escape? Did you do something like that, Rei?" Emma asked this question with a very serious face while checking his pulse. And after she says all this, she's like, "I'm fine if you've already done it, but just don't do it again." That's creepy, because you would think her type of character that's, like I said, very naive, the standard, shonen character, would act like that and say, "It's fine, but just don't do it again." There's something going on there. There's something really fucked up going on with her right now because of that one scene. But then her facial expression she gave Rei was very similar to how Isabel acts to the children when, they were hiding something. So, there's a lot of similarities going on there, and I've noticed that. And so, Emma showed a side of her that was relatively dark and something we have not seen before. And if you do think about it, Emma is a smart child. We know that she's getting high grades, full scores, just like Rei and Norman. Even though it seems like she's the one that's kind of stupid or whatever, she's not. She's not one of those stupid main characters of a shonen. She's actually very intelligent. It's just the way she, acts, it seems like she's the standard character, but with this chapter, it reveals that there's way more to her than it appears to be, because she showed a side that she's very intelligent, but also something else is going on here. For instance, if Rei does something like that again, some shady shit, it seems like Emma might take matters in her own hands and do something that might be even despicable or something against what we've probably already seen. I mean, the way she grabbed him and she got very serious, it looked like something very dark, like she would break his fucking arm at that moment just because if he would have said or he would have done something else crusty like that what he might have done in the past. So, overall, Emma's character intrigues me. I'm looking forward to more of her character. I was already looking forward to her character because of how, she was naive and how that was mentioned so early on. That's something you normally never see a mangaka want to write. because that's something that's kind of embedded into a character of shonen, and seeing how this was already brought up, and it's being tackled, and how that's one of her flaws with her character earlier on, it allows us to know that the mangaka is going to probably develop that trait of her being naive. Maybe she will no longer be naive in the future, maybe 50 chapters down the road. So, I like how that was tackled, but now with this, my interest in her character has definitely jumped up. I still don't think she's the best character compared to, Norman and Ray, but she's definitely interesting, and we don't need to, write her off yet and say she's a bad character. She's definitely intelligent, and she definitely has something to her that we have yet to see. Now, getting into the other stuff, let's talk about Ray and Norman's, convo, and how, Norman was reacting after what Ray said to him. So, as we know, Ray, he is being really realistic. He's been that spy, that person that's constantly fed information to Isabel the entire time for these past 6 years, and, Norman, he's finally found out. He found out the truth and all that. He's got all the information. And Ray is telling Norman, hey, you need to lie to Emma. You need to pretend to say that we're going to save everyone, but towards the end, we're going to fuck over all the other children. And then we're going to, just bring us three, or, Gilda and Dawn. And so that was the big point here. Like, just showcasing that these, certain amount of people are going to be coming, but they're going to write off all the younger kids because they're dead weight. And he's asking Norman to tell that lie to Emma. Now, Norman, obviously, at the beginning of the chapter, he starts talking about how he actually wants to save the kids too, which is very suspicious, because earlier on in, the series, he actually stated he would think it would be best off if they would have left the kids behind. But now that he is the one stating, like, he wants to bring them with him, I think there's more going on here. I feel like it's not because he wants to save the kids. I think it's because he loves Emma a lot. Like, he loves her too much. Because his facial expressions, to his nightmares, to the way he presents himself to Emma, it seems like this man is madly in love. I mean, we know he's in love, but he's so madly in love with Emma to the point to where he will throw out common sense, or he'll throw out all rational thought because of how much he cares for Emma and he doesn't want to disappoint her. And so I feel like that right there showed another side to his character. It's seeming more likely as the chapters go on that he's someone that might not do some crusty shit and, throw the kids under the bus. It will obviously be Ray, but I mean, depending on how warped his mentality is and how, Norman is, I mean, how much he truly loves her. I mean, we've already seen how much he loves her. He's willing to change his rational thoughts into something irrational because of how much he cares for Emma, and if this continues, I mean, it's going to be very dire for him as a character as well, not just for the children or Emma, but I mean, he might personally die because of how he actually thinks and operates because of Emma and how she kind of manipulates him in a way. I mean, Emma's not purposely doing that, it's just Norman willingly allows himself to be manipulated by Emma because he is someone that truly cares for her. He loves her so much, and I feel like that's going to lead into something very bad towards the outcome of this arc. For instance, like a lot of people dying. Now, Ray as a character, he reveals his secret that he is the spy to Emma right off the bat, and that, whoa, you're telling me this man, after being like sneaky, he told Emma the truth. I mean, he wanted to tell them the truth. He's trying to keep up appearances if he is really like a spy for, Isabel, and he's not working with them. But regardless, though, this man told Emma, which was a very risky move, and I just could not believe how he revealed it like that. I mean, even Norman, he was shocked. He's like, what the hell? Like, this man straight up revealing something like this to Emma doesn't make any freaking sense. So I just like that combo that they had of how Ray brought this up, and then he was talking to Emma about it, and then Emma started asking him questions. That was something very unexpected, and I'm glad the mangaka tackled that. So once again, this chapter of The Promised Neverland was a very good chapter, a lot of development and characterization, and setup for the potential ending conclusion of this arc. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. You all have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.